investigation that was months in the making.
Every year, tens of millions of taxpayer dollars go to a nonprofit called Bay Area Community Services. They boast a high success rate of finding permanent housing solutions for the homeless.
But as Susie Steimel uncovered, the numbers simply do not add up. And she spoke with dozens of people who say this program put them back on the street.
All I need is a little help, that's all.
After 4 years of living on the street, Arika Miles finally felt hopeful when counselors at the Stair Navigation Center in Berkeley found her permanent housing.
They were going to pay our rent for 6 months, which is plenty of time for somebody to go back to work and get on their feet. Good boy.
But when she got to that address in Richmond, her hope faded. Her permanent home was this garage.
And so every time I got to go to the bathroom or I cook breakfast or dinner or anything, I got to go in, unlock the door.
Arika says her rent was $1,500 a month, paid for with public money awarded to the nonprofit that runs Berkeley's Navigation Center, Bay Area Community Services, or BACS. When Arika complained, a building department inspector came out and found no access to a restroom, black mold, nails sticking out of the walls, no electrical, and a rat infestation. The garage was ordered shut down, and Arika is now back out on the street.
Oh, I think it's horrible. That is not right. That is not right. I mean, what is going on? There was billions and billions of dollars donated to get us off the street, to get us permanent housing. So what's going on?
James Cartmill's permanent placement through the STAIR program isn't working out either.
That's not a permanent situation, and it's continued turmoil.
BACS placed him and his wife in a small room in this San Leandro home along with 6 other tenants and a live-in host. Taxpayer money given to BACS paid this bill too. According to James's contract, the money goes to a company called Second Chance at Life Independent Living. At last check, it's not licensed to do business in San Leandro. James says he can't even use the living room because there are people sleeping in it, and he's not allowed to cook. James had it out with his landlady, seen here in a Facebook Live post.
Independent living home. We're independent. Okay, don't cook on the stove no more.
Shortly after, he received an eviction notice. He has to be out by year's end.
It's caused more stress than living on the streets.
Then there's this homeless senior who asked us not to show her face.
Somebody has to be held accountable for this.
BACS placed her in a room in this house in Stockton for $850 a month.
I think it's absolutely ludicrous for anyone to even want to even spend that type of money when they can find themselves a studio, especially out here in Stockton.
She's right. We looked on Zillow and found plenty of studios for about the same price. Once again, taxpayers paid the $850 a month here as well. That is until a fire damaged this home. That's when she says her counselor offered her a new placement in a halfway house for men in Berkeley.
So now I'm back to square one. So I'm going to be sleeping in my car.
BACS was awarded nearly $5 million from the city of Berkeley to run the STAIR program here on 2nd Street through next year. And in its contract with the city of Berkeley, BACS promises a 75% success rate of getting homeless clients into permanent housing. But people we've talked to who have been through the BACS program and are now on the street say that goal is not just unrealistic, it's not being met.
They're just working the numbers. They're working those numbers. Get these people. Let's show how good we're doing.
Michael Zint is the founder of First They Came for the Homeless, a self-run, drug-free homeless camp in Berkeley. As an activist, he hears from people on the street every day who tell him permanent housing is anything but.
They don't need a palace. What they need is their own space. And this is one of the biggest things I've been trying to tell people is if you want somebody to start recovering from everything that's going on in the streets, you need to give them their own space. They need privacy. They need security of their possessions. They need to be able to come and go as they please. They need to be able to make decisions without any pressure. Instead, they're being shuffled into the first opportunity available so that somebody can check their name off a list of being homeless. That's not a solution.
BACS's supposed success rates are inconsistent at best. It promised 75% success rates to Berkeley for the STAIR program. But in its sales pitch for another navigation center in Fremont, BACS boasted an 82% success rate for the same program. The city of Berkeley claims only 64% of STAIR clients were permanently housed, and 22% of that group fell back into homelessness. meaning the success rate reported by Berkeley was actually only around 50%. And Michael Zint says he thinks even that number is likely inflated to win more contracts.
It's a game. It's a game so that they can get on TV, or they can go to the government, or they can go to whoever and say, look at how successful we're being. We need to expand this.
BACS is growing rapidly. The nonprofit's tax filings are broken into a services arm and a housing arm. Total revenue on the services side grew from $13 million in fiscal 2016 to $22 million last year. And as BACS acquires more property, its assets have grown from $530,000 in 2015 to nearly $15 million in 2018.
For several weeks now, we've been asking the city of Berkeley to provide someone to sit down with us, explain the numbers, and explain how someone in Eureka's position was placed into substandard housing only to end up back out on the street. Berkeley declined our multiple requests. So did BACS.
This should not have happened to me. It ruined me, even worse than what I was before.
Eureka hopes her story and others will wake the city up to what's really going on.
Because I'm not going anywhere until they fix what they did. And not do it anymore. Not do it up to us. We are people.
The city of Berkeley and BACS sent us brief statements saying that they take any allegations very seriously. We have posted those statements on our website. And after we brought Eureka's story to the attention of BACS, we found out over the weekend that she has since been placed in a hotel.
So, Susie, BACS is expanding. Have you heard from other BACS clients, maybe outside of Berkeley?
So we're looking into that as well. We've talked to nearly 24 people who are BACS clients in Oakland, and that group of BACS clients is actually organizing, and they're asking that both Berkeley and Oakland audit BACS to see that the money is being spent appropriately. So we'll be looking into that as well.
Susie, thank you.